In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on April 4th, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Guardians versus Minnesota Twins. Game 1 of the divisional series between the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians is scheduled for this Thursday at Target Field. Both starting pitchers are expected to perform well. Bibby had a challenging first outing in 2024 but is anticipated to regain his form. On the other hand, Lopez showcased an impressive performance against the Royals last week, pitching 7 innings with only 1 earned run and a 4-1 victory. During the Twins' recent game against the Brewers, starter Chris Paddock delivered a solid performance, pitching 4 innings with 2 earned runs, while the bullpen held up admirably, conceding only 1 earned run, 1 hit, and 1 walk over 5 innings. Lopez has established himself as a reliable pitcher with a high strikeout rate, which should instill confidence in the Twins' hitters when facing Bibby, who struggled against the Athletics in his last outing. With Lopez pitching effectively, it's expected that he will provide the necessary support for the Twins to maintain a lead. Despite Cleveland's momentum coming into this series, they will face a tough challenge against Pablo Lopez. Lopez has had a strong start to the season, and although the Twins' offense has been slow to develop, his presence on the mound brings optimism. While there's a possibility that Bibby could bounce back, Minnesota is favored to win at home, so the Minnesota Twins money line is our full game side pick. Tomorrow's starting pitchers have consistently performed well against their division rivals. However, the Twins have been struggling to get on base, especially after a heavy defeat to Kansas City. It's unlikely that they'll fare any better against Bibby and the formidable Cleveland bullpen. Lopez has had a promising start to the season, and although the Guardians may pose a challenge, the Twins have a reliable bullpen to support him. The under has been successful in the majority of Cleveland's divisional games, indicating a trend towards low-scoring matchups. Cleveland's offense has been strong this season, but they'll face a tough matchup against Lopez. Meanwhile, Minnesota's offense has struggled, particularly in making contact and avoiding strikeouts. Expect a low-scoring game, as has been the case in previous Twins matchups this season. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Miami Marlins versus St. Louis Cardinals. 2 teams from the National League step onto the diamond in the Gateway City, kicking off a weekend series in search of a victory. The Miami Marlins hit the road to commence a 3-game showdown with the St. Louis Cardinals on Thursday afternoon. Wrapping up a 3-game series at home against the Angels on Wednesday, Miami aimed to evade a sweep after suffering a 3-1 defeat in Tuesday night's clash. Meanwhile, St. Louis concluded a 3-game series in San Diego on Wednesday afternoon with hopes of securing a sweep, following a 5-2 triumph in their previous encounter on Tuesday night. Last year's season series saw the Cardinals clinch victory in 4 out of 7 games, including a 3-game sweep at home on July 17 and July 19, 2023. Entering their 3rd series of the season, the Miami Marlins are still in search of their first win, with their pitching staff struggling across 7 games. With only 1 game allowing fewer than 6 runs thus far, Miami faces a formidable St. Louis lineup. Ryan Weathers, who yielded 3 runs, 7 hits, and 2 walks over 4 innings in his initial start, takes the mound for Miami, while St. Louis counters with Lance Lynn, who, despite a brief 4-inning stint in his first start, held the Dodgers scoreless. For the Marlins, hitting the road might provide a much-needed respite from their opening season woes. However, facing the Cardinals' home opener poses a formidable challenge. Lance Lynn's return, boasting 72 victories with the Cardinals, promises to boost crowd morale, with the pitcher himself seeking familiarity, boasting a lifetime 40-20 record with a 2.85 earned run average at Busch Stadium. With St. Louis securing a 4-3 record in 7 meetings last season, including a clean sweep at home and a commendable track record in home openers, the Marlins face an uphill battle. Struggling this season, the Marlins have grappled with preventing opponents from posting significant runs on the scoreboard. Weathers' lackluster season debut compounds Miami's challenges as they hit the road to face the Cardinals. St. Louis, having won 3 out of 4 games prior to their showdown with the Padres on Wednesday night, boasts the experienced arm of Lynn, while the Cardinals have secured victories against formidable opponents like the Dodgers and Padres. The Marlins have faltered against the Pirates and Angels. Despite reservations about Lance Lynn's performance in this matchup, the Marlins' struggling pitching dissuades from favoring their side. Hence, the St. Louis Cardinals money line emerges as our full game pick. Ahead of Wednesday's game, the Miami Marlins witnessed a 5-1 over mark in their initial 6 games of the season. Ranked tied for 22nd in the majors for runs per game with 3.67, the Marlins' average total stood at 10.5 runs per game, tied for 25th, allowing 6.83 runs per contest. On the road last season, Miami ranked 28th with 3.8 runs per game, and their average total on the road was 8.29 runs per game. Conversely, St. Louis saw a 2-2 over mark in their opening 6 games, scoring 4.17 runs per game, with an average total of 8.67 runs per game. Last season, St. Louis ranked 11th with 4.65 runs per game at home and held an average total of 9.95 runs per game as hosts. The previous year's encounters between these teams averaged 10.7 combined runs per game, with the over hitting 5-2. In the current season, 8 games between them have surpassed the projected total. While Miami's offense hasn't erupted in any game, they've managed at least 4 runs in 3 games, while their pitching has conceded 7 or more runs in 5 games. St. Louis offense has been consistent, scoring 2 runs or less just twice and notching 4 or more runs in 4 of their last 5 outings, with both pitching staffs exhibiting early flaws, especially given the Marlins' tendency to concede runs. Over the projected total emerges as our full game total pick. Chicago White Sox versus Kansas City Royals. The Chicago White Sox are set to embark on a journey to face off against the Kansas City Royals in a 4-game series that kicks off this Thursday. The matchup pits these two teams, both hailing from the American League Central Division, against each other. As the season begins, the White Sox find themselves at a 1-4 record, struggling with a run differential of -11. On the other side, the Royals return home after a 2-4 start to the season. Despite their rough start, the Royals are optimistic about their prospects for the 2024 season. It's possible that these teams might rank among the weaker ones in the league this season. However, I believe the Royals have a slight edge over the White Sox at this stage of the season. Seth Lugo showcased an impressive performance in his season debut, suggesting he may continue this momentum into another strong start on Thursday. He faces a Chicago offense that currently sits at the bottom of the league in both team batting average and ops. Conversely, Michael Soroka struggled in his debut for the White Sox, conceding 4 earned runs against a struggling Detroit offense. While Kansas City's offense may not be top tier, they possess the talent to capitalize on Soroka's vulnerabilities, especially given his injury-riddled career. The Kansas City Royals appear poised for improvement this season, boasting dynamic everyday players like Bobby Witt, and a pitching rotation bolstered by recent additions such as Ragan from last year and tonight's starter, Lugo. Lugo's pitching style aligns well with Kauffman Stadium's tendencies, which typically favor pitchers. Additionally, with a reliable defense backing him up, Lugo's ability to keep the ball in play bodes well against a White Sox lineup that lacks firepower, possibly missing Elroy Jimenez on Thursday. Meanwhile, Soroka, despite a decent start with the White Sox, seems distant from his former ace status with the Braves, likely to struggle against the Royals lineup, making the Kansas City Royals money line our full game side pick. The Kansas City Royals money line stands out as our favored full game side pick. The total has decreased by half a run from its opening at 8.5, a reflection of both teams' offensive struggles. The Royals have surpassed 4 runs in a game only once this season, while the White Sox are collectively batting a mere .183 with minimal extra base hits. Without Jimenez, the White Sox lack a significant threat in their lineup, further diminishing their offensive potential. Although Kauffman Stadium typically favors hitters later in the season, the current conditions are more conducive to pitching, which could suppress scoring opportunities. Regarding Lugo's dominance over Chicago, his impressive head-to-head record against current White Sox players further solidifies the Royals' advantage. The current roster has yet to register a hit against him, including notable players like Paul DeJong, Kevin Pillar, and Martin Maldonado. Given Chicago's offensive struggles, particularly in batting average, they are likely to encounter difficulties against Lugo's hot streak. Furthermore, the Royals have only witnessed high-scoring games in a few instances this season, underscoring their own offensive challenges. Taking into account the weather conditions, which are less than favorable for scoring, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.